Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that I have at least some people that are in an older age range. So, I'm going to sit down and explain something. If you don't know what the word flex means, I've got to sit down and explain that first. Essentially, when us kids use the term flex, it's our way of saying that we're showing something off or bragging about something. So, to use the term in context, my biggest flex is the fact that I've never had a cavity. Yes, I did just explain what the term flex means so I could kickstart this video in which I'm really here to talk about why I'm so awesome because I've never had a cavity. Now, there's no specific reason I take this much pride in it. I mean, I've got friends who are like me and actually take care of their teeth and keep themselves from ending up with cavities. I'm no special egg. But for some reason, I feel like one. Let's put it this way. Every time the topic comes up, everyone I've met has either had tons of cavities or none. There is no in between. So, for some odd reason, that made me develop a strange superiority complex, and now I will literally brag about how well I take care of my teeth. It doesn't matter that every other person I know has basic hygiene down. Everyone must know that my dentist thinks that I have the shiniest smile that she's ever seen. Honestly, I feel like a strange mixture between that crab from Moana and Cruella De Vil. I know that's a weird kind of comparison, but that's who I can come up with right now, okay? I'm trying my best here. And anyway, I think it makes perfect sense. If my teeth don't shine brighter than the moon itself, then honestly, what's the freaking point? Not to mention, if I treat my teeth like anything, it's the fur coats that Cruella is so thoroughly obsessed with. Not to say I made my teeth to get them the way they are, I'm just obsessed with how nice they look. I've always had a very strict teeth regime. I would say I don't know why having shiny teeth has always been such an obsession for me, but that would be a flat-out lie. It really stretches back far to when I was a youngin', and I went to my first dentist appointment where I had a basic understanding of what was happening. You know, the elementary school age where you're finally starting to grasp the outside world? Yeah, that. Anyways, I was at the dentist, and they told my mom that I was on the verge of a cavity. I was confused on why that would be the case, since I made sure to brush my teeth twice a day as a good little elementary school kid does. But apparently, it was deeper than that. For some inconvenient reason, gum disease and cavity issues actually run in my family. This freaked me out. Little elementary school me was not aware of what it was going to be like to get a filler or do anything like that, so I just assumed it was going to be the worst experience of my life. I wasn't about to have a tiny thing of metal wrapped around my tooth and lodged into my gum. Absolutely not. I was not going to have it. They gave me a thing of floss that I could use to try and save my tooth, and suggested I start using mouthwash. When I tell you that I took the suggestions and ran, I'm not kidding. I was so bent on eradicating that freaky cavity that I started brushing 3 times a day. Yeah, I took my toothbrush to school with me. I got all sorts of stares, even from Bryn and Mira. They didn't really understand why I was going through such lengths to keep cavities at bay. I would call it an OCD thing, but I'd feel bad calling it that since I don't have OCD. I know I've said the word obsessed many times here already, but that's all I could describe it as. Very much obsessive and very much compulsive. Again, I don't have OCD. Never have had OCD. Anyway, I was so freaked out by cavities, I would spend sometimes up to 4 minutes brushing my teeth in a single toothbrushing. It got bad. Floss was something I stuck in my teeth distractedly all the time. I was spiraling into the weird kid, but the weird kid that had super nice teeth, you know? But yeah, eventually, my mom started to get really worried. She made the joke that she could see my gums disappearing. Well, turns out she was right. She ended up taking me to the dentist a few months later. My cavity was gone, thank goodness, but my gums were also receding. Very bad. They told me I had to take it down a notch. So I did as they asked me to, but my regime was still pretty strict. I brushed for a long time, I flossed very regularly, and I used mouthwash constantly. Again, I went back to the dentist, and they told me that I really needed to calm down before I damaged my gums or my enamel. I decided to finally listen. It was 5th grade, I think, when I finally had a super nice teeth care regime, and it's one that I've magically been able to stick by ever since. Anyway, pointless non-traumatic childhood story aside, my teeth are gorgeous. I mean, if you could see these pearly whites, I really need to get a handle on myself, but I can't help it. My smile has always been my favorite part of me. I've taken such good care of my teeth that I have a smile people want to convince you can only get through using teeth whitening strips. Don't listen to them. I mean, let's be real here. The only reason my teeth look this clean is simply because I literally haven't strayed away from my tooth routine since 5th grade. Yeah, so, I mean, I've had a literal fear of cavities since elementary school. And sometimes I'm even confused to why that transitioned to a feeling of superiority above everyone else whose teeth don't represent that of a napkin. Okay, that really sounds terrible when I put it that way. I don't dislike the people who don't have shiny white teeth. I mean, that's literally the stupidest thing ever. It's dang near impossible to feel like that to get my teeth this level. Everyone's teeth have a naturally yellow tint to them. Unless you're me. Okay, again, that sounds bad. My teeth do have a naturally yellow tint. I just don't let them get there. Which, I'm not sure if that's bad or not, but I have yet to see a dentist that tells me it is. So yeah, I really don't know how to feel about myself in that aspect. On one hand, I very much enjoy having the sparkliest of smiles. But on the other hand, I'm also slightly worried for my own head. I mean, I seriously have such a minimal amount of things to talk about that I choose to stoop down and talk about my teeth. Do you see the amount of self-affirmation I have to do inside my head? I know for a fact that there's way more to me than my randomly super white teeth. But I mean, this took a super dark turn. Okay, moving on. Bragging about my teeth is honestly super weird, but I guess it's whatever. Everyone is weird in their own special little way. Not to mention, I have a right. Do you know how many people compliment me on my smile on a regular basis? It's probably just giving me the biggest head on the face of the earth, but that's the least of my worries. I guess taking care of myself is something to brag about. My health is something that I care about. At least my teeth. Not to mention, it doesn't matter that I'm literally 19 years old. I still absolutely do not want to get a filler. I mean, I know how they work now, but even I have a bigger fear of something else. Root canals. I watched a movie about those a while ago, and if I wasn't scared of cavities before, I sure am now. I'd rather not have any permanent health conditions, thank you very much. Shiny teeth is a healthy mouth, and that means a healthy body. Something else, my teeth are very strong. I didn't even realize how strong they were until I started noticing that things everyone struggled to use their teeth with were no problem for me. It was strange, and for some reason, I felt a minor sense of joy in that. Again, I don't think I'm really ever going to understand why I have such a minor, maybe major, feeling of being superior because my teeth are healthy, strong, and ridiculously white. It's just one of those things. I can hear my parents giggling at me for that. Does anyone else's parents do that? When your only explanation for doing something is just, I don't know, it's just one of those things I do? 'Cause mine do that all the freaking time. I can't tell if I find it funny or super annoying. I mean, they can usually pick up on when I'm trying to be a certain way when I'm not, so there's that. But genuinely, I've always been weird and crazy about my teeth. The more I talk about this, the more I feel like some demonic version of the tooth fairy or something. Minus the tooth collecting. Am I making people squirm? I really hope not. I would feel terrible if that happened. Okay, now you guys understand the inside outs of my teeth. My obsession with my teeth. My weird complex with my teeth. If you decided within this video that I'm not someone you want to associate with, I will not question your decision. But as weird as I know this conversation definitely was, there is one thing I can stand by for all eternity. The fact that I will probably never end up with a cavity in my life. And the fact that the dentist has never made my gums bleed, no matter how hard they try. No, you're not crazy. I'm pretty sure they're trying to. They're probably just salty that they don't need to tell me to floss more since I already do. I think I steal their thunder when they realize they don't need to fix my routine. To my dentists, sorry, not sorry.